Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. Here are your hosts, Scott Bear and Jeremiah Johnson.
Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm Jeremiah.
And welcome back for yet another episode 241.
Oh yeah, baby. And a lot of you out there are saying, well, this one can't be Prime. You guys just had a Prime episode. It is Prime. This is the larger of twin Primes. Those of you who listen to the show know all my Primies out there. Whoop! Knew a couple episodes ago I actually said that was part of a twin prime, so you got it. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, 241, we're in a prime number episode, which means we're going to do something special, and that means we're going to do an episode.
Oh, actually, we're going to do something even more special. Before we even get into the show proper, we're going to play a little game.
Yep.
I devised a game this week
It's
that
called
I'm
Chinese
hoping works.
Alamo.
That was a note to myself.
I know, I just like the thought of you calling this game that we're about to play Chinese Alamo.
I was trying to think of like a term for like, you know, remember the Alamo.
Remember the Chinese Alamo.
I was trying to think of the most obscure way of saying, like, don't remember that. I'm like,
oh.
Remember the Chinese Alamo?
Yeah. Remember the Chinese Alamo.
No. You mean Tiananmen Square? No.
I'm going to
nope.
the
Chinese Alamo.
Equivalent would be anyway. I have to think about that.
I mean,
Chinese
if I had
Alamo.
done some research, it literally was a note in the notes.
I noticed.
For me to remember in case it percolated to the top of my brain and became a thing for the show. Oh, you know what? Speaking of the show.
We'll just name the show. The show title will be that, and this will be the only time we reference the whole thing.
That would actually be kind of astounding. And it would be a fun image to make.
Yep.
I see you're already adjusting the notes.
Yep. Just in case.
Now, Stanley has passed. Stanley, dead in 95.
Yeah, thank God.
Now that Stanley is dead, we will continue the tradition of saying, if this is your first episode, much like when he said, is this your first issue of a comic book? Here's a little disclaimer on what you're about to listen to. We're a podcast.
Ooh, no fucking way.
We are a audio content provider.
Enough said.
And we pick the weirdest, strangest stories from the internet. We drag them from the depths, bring them to the surface, explore them, explain them, talk to you about them, and then we twist them into new content.
Excelsior!
Exactly. We like to turn any story that we do into a new movie, TV show, comic book, rap song. Who knows? Who knows what we're going to do?
We did recipes one time.
We did stand-up routines one time.
Oh, yes. Quote-unquote stand-up. We were sitting down and they weren't funny.
No, but that's how a lot of stand-up goes. They put stools in front of those brick walls now for those lazy fucking millennial stand-ups.
Yeah. Well, I think because like they're supposed.
Can I sit?
They used to just be there for the water and stuff. You
used to put your bottle of water
and
on
I think
it.
somebody was like, "Oh, cool. Still, I'm lazy," and they started sitting on it. And people were like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah. Now a lot of live podcasts do stools and seats and
I could see that.
The progression is amazing. Evolution in the moment. You can actually watch it happen. Mm-hmm. Creationists, take note.
Yep.
So before we get into the show proper, where we dig into these weird stories, I did devise a little bit of a game this week.
Chinese Alamo.
The game is not called Chinese Alamo. In fact, I don't have a name for the game. I called it Movie Game.
You called it Movie Game.
I think at one point
Which is definitely more fitting than Chinese Alamo. I do have to say that makes more sense.
Well, I think at one point...
How about the meow? Nope. Never mind.
Nope.
Gotta stop that.
At one point, it was called Cat Movie Game before I adjusted the notes.
But you didn't want to tip your hand.
I think I had to in the description for you to understand how to play.
Yeah. Instead of, at first, it just said Movie Game. I'm like, gonna see where this goes, I guess.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to play a movie game. We picked 6 of the literal 6 top movies of the 90s.
Yes.
And
based on highest grossing, of course.
Highest grossing, yep. And we're going to reimagine these films as if one of the leads wasn't who was starring in the movie, but was actually a trench coat full of cats. I have an example here that I gave to Jared before the show, just so he was on the same level as me. Pretty Woman from the 80s. Rich man woos a prostitute, but she ends up being a trench coat full of cats. He buys them expensive catnip and jeweled collars, and they live happily ever after. The title of that movie, Pretty Woman.
Yeah, so you chose
we're
doing the easy one.
So we're not only twisting the movie, but we're gonna do a new title.
Yes, and the title I'm gonna say doesn't always have to be a pun. When that makes sense, it's totally gonna be a pun though.
Okay, that works a lot. Yeah, that works a lot for me.
Because it might not fit in some of these things, or it might be trying too hard, but sometimes you might just have more fun just coming up with a new title based on your new premise.
And not to say the other person's doing a bad or good job, we may jump in with each other and maybe double down on a few of these. If one of us, if something strikes our brains. I don't see why we should take comedy gold and reverse pan it.
Reverse pan it. Just dump it back in the river.
Put it on a screen and sift it upside down into the water.
Back into the river. Yeah, reverse panning. didn't pan out for them. See him practicing the puns.
There's hills here full of gold out here. I get panning upside down. Well, your pan is two-sided. Well, I put it in the river and I put gold in it. I get enough gold. I just flip it. I shake it a little more. I'm like, maybe there'll be a double gold on the other side.
Yeah. Instead, I lost all my money. Yeah, suicide for me again.
There's a small creek about 10 feet down is all the gold I've lost, but I'm also a very lazy man.
Yeah. So, kudos to anyone who's got the energy to go, oh, that guy did. Okie dokie, see you later. Enjoy your new riches. I'm going to die here where I stand. All right, so we're starting with...
Here, let's read the list real quick. It's going to be Titanic, Star Wars Episode 1, Jurassic Park, Independence Day, Lion King, and Forrest Gump.
Yes.
And, Jerry, you're going to start with number 1, Titanic.
Yeah, I'm going to start with Titanic.
I already have an idea for it, so if you don't go in the same direction as me...
That's good, because I don't have much of an idea for it, but I am going to try to go into some
I'm going to watch you, I'm going to watch you struggle.
I'm gonna struggle because, well, first of all, I think what ends up happening is it starts out, the one that makes... sense to be the trench coat full of cats is going to be Leonardo DiCaprio.
Same for me.
Who starts out as a trench coat full of cats, and of course falls in line with Winslet. Was that who it was?
Kate Winslet. Yeah.
Kate Winslet, whoever her character's name was.
That Winslet girl.
Yeah. So
She's trouble. She likes laying on doors and pushing boys.
That's true. That's a very synthesized, dumbed down version of the movie. What was Titanic about? Well, Kate Winslet laying down, pushing boys on doors.
And then at the end, there's this weird epilogue where she reverse pans for diamonds.
Yeah. And so my thought is, Jack, I think, right, whatever. Anyway, the trench coat full of cats, very poor, so they have to, or very and they have to band together whatever little scraps of money they have to get onto this nice little boat to make it to the new land because their kind is being stomped out in their homeland. And so they get a nice little bodysuit from the black market, sneak on. Little do they expect to have Kate Winslet fall in love with them. And they still have to hang out together. But unfortunately, one of the cats actually gets loose and starts wreaking havoc on the ship. Next thing you know, it ends up in the front of the ship. And if they find the pilot of the ship, what do they call those? Captains, dead at the wheel. And anybody's like, does anybody know how to steer a ship? And the kid goes, meow. He's like, well, you're the best we got, kitten. And then the cat jumps on in and steers it directly into an iceberg, which then goes down. And luckily, that one cat does make it out on one of the lifeboats, but the rest of the 9 cats in a trench coat sink to the bottom of the ocean.
Okay, my idea was not similar.
Okay.
It goes the same way as the original movie, all the way up until her, Kate Winslet, floating on the door and not letting the trench coat full of cats onto the door. Cats hate water. They
I was thinking about
immediately
bringing
freak the fuck out,
I
scratch the shit out of her, knock her off the door, and then it's just a door at the end with credits with a bunch of cats on it.
With a bunch of adorable kittens, yeah.
Adorable kittens.
They're like, well, Jack must have died too.
Yeah.
And
that was my version.
Yeah. And the Pearl of the Ocean, or whatever the thing they called that, was actually just Kate Winslet's skull that they went down, and one of the kitten that steered into the iceberg. Now we're combining the movies. Put together an expedition to find it because they wanted it on their mantle as a trophy for what they've been through. Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars Episode 1 has the secret Emperor Palpatine and his new apprentice Darth Maul. And towards the end, they have that long lightsaber battle where Obi-Wan gets mad because Liam Neeson dies, and they cut him in half. That exact scene happens, but when they cut him in half, they find out it's not Darth Maul, it's a bunch of cats.
Okay.
A bunch of cats fall to their death, a bunch don't, claw the shit out of Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's why he looks like a different actor in the original ones in the 80s.
Very cool. I like that.
They've disfigured him into being Alec Guinness.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense.
That changes the looks of the actors.
Yep.
Fits canon.
Yep, it fits canon very well. I bet that gets taken. Jurassic Park, I'm going a little different route. Instead of a bunch of cats in a trench coat, I'm actually going with slightly modified to the original where... remember when the guy, Newman's trying to make it out with all the little embryos, and he, gets attacked and whatnot, and that's a big turning point in the movie. In this one, he actually gets attacked in the facility and drops all the embryos, or he thinks he's being attacked. He drops all the embryos into a kitty litter box, and then it's like, oh shit, scrapes them back up, but still gets them to who wants them. So they still generate them, but now it's a cat lizard, dinosaur hybrid. So then all of a sudden there is boom, 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 Jurassic Park. Where you go meet up with these hybrid cat dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, I never said my title.
Yes.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Meowness.
Yep. I figured something along those. I thought Meowness would work pretty well. All right, we're into Independence Day here.
Independence Day, we're at the end of the movie. Will Smith is trying to desperately save the world. Randy Quaid is about to fly his ship right into the alien ship's underparts to destroy it. They're throwing the code to the MacBook with Jeff Goldblum. Everything's exciting. It's getting crazy. And just as the airplane is flying right at the giant alien ship, it veers off course because Randy Quaid the whole time, just like in real life, is a trench coat full of cats.
Oh, okay. And really the cats just went off to chase something else, like a laser pointer or something.
It was the laser coming down from the... literally they were chasing the laser shooting out of the bottom of the spaceship, and then they got distracted by it, jumped out, and
the aliens win.
That would be into Katniss Day.
Or just Cat Independence Day, Feline Independence
Day. Cat Independence Day. Coming this fall, Cat Independence Day. We get our rights finally. No, you fight aliens and fail miserably because lasers.
Yes, lasers did it.
We wouldn't do that. Oh, look, a laser.
Oh, never mind. Going over there now. Lion King, this one pretty much sticks with the original movie. Everything goes according to plan. Simba does all that stuff, and toward the end of the movie, defeats Scar and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then they're just getting ready to settle down, and Simba and Nala are about to get married, and suddenly Rafiki shows up. I think he's still alive at the end, and that's the right movie.
That makes a lot of sense.
He shows up and goes, "Wait a minute." And he goes, "This is your king," and he peels off the lion suit, and it's a bunch of tiny little cats, and they're like, "He was cats the whole time?" And one's like, "Well, we're also cats." He's like, "Shut up, cat." And then all the little kittens run away, and then the hyenas devour them in a 20-minute brutal scene.
It actually stops being animated. It becomes like just Nat Geo footage.
Nat Geo footage of cats being ripped to shreds by hyenas.
For 20 minutes.
I would Google if I didn't think that would scar me for life.
Last one's Forrest Gump. We got Forrest Gump hanging out with Jenny.
Yep.
They're about to have their
Oh, and by the way, Lion
baby.
King didn't need a name change. It's or
Lion Kings.
Yeah, Lion Kings. There
you
go.
Boom. Forrest Gump sitting down with Jenny. It's the scene where he's about to get laid for the first time, lose his V card, and make a Gump baby.
Yep.
And
one of those dumb Gump
she leans in for a kiss, and trench coat full of cats.
Yep.
Cats skitter everywhere. She also has sex with the cats because if she was going to have sex with a retarded person and make a retarded baby,
she was like, "Hey, well, you know what? A bunch of human kitten hybrids would actually be way cuter anyway."
Yeah. And then we fast forward after that scene 20 some odd years, and it's Beauty and the Beast, the CBS drama.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
one of the cats
grew up to be that, and the other ones naturally perished from feline leukemia.
Yes.
And that would be called.
That's a hard title to twist.
Not Furriest Gump.
Furriest Gump works. Yeah, fuck it. Furriest Gump.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier, and I wanted to go better, but no.
I can't think of a better one. So.
Well, that was our fun little game. I don't know if it was a win. I don't know if it was
Chinese
a loss.
Alamo.
But that was my Chinese Alamo.
Remember the Chinese Alamo. Meow.
Yeah, sometimes we succeed, sometimes we fail. I'm going to leave it up to the listeners to decide on that one. Hit us up on Twitter.
We got a call coming in here. Hello, this is Mrs. Reginald Van Johnson, the mother of the guy who played the cop in Family Matters. I think your game was terrible, so I'm going to stop listening now. Well, I like the thought that you listened live somehow, and I'm curious how that happened.
I was surprised she was still alive.
Yeah. I'm very much alive. My son keeps me alive by stealing stem cells from a local research facility, just like in the movie he played in Die Hard also. Was that what the movie was about? Goodbye. Click. Man, phones going click these days. I love that.
I like that they actually do an audible click. It's
Yeah.
almost like the phone rings to let you know there's a call coming
course,
in,
yeah.
and
And
now
then
it clicks to let you know the call's over.
Click. That goes
Yeah,
click.
makes a lot of sense. Honestly, that's very logical. I would actually do that to my own phone if I knew how to.
Well, I would like to thank Mrs. Reginald Van Johnson for being a lifelong listener and supporting our show since the early days. So
Yep, and if
hopefully you come back to the show, Miss Johnson.
And I don't want this to be my Chinese Alamo, but if you liked or disliked that game, please hit us up on @TheLostAtHome.
You're already getting one.
I just got one. We found money.
Oh, is that Reginald Van Johnson's mother again?
Yep, yeah, I think she texted her son and got me instead.
Okay. Well, yeah. Huh.
Oh, it's always good for the elderly to find money. Helps them pay for all
this
those
is good.
pills.
I'm afraid she got scammed somehow. So, like, sometimes they think they found money because somebody called and was like, all you need to do is give us a $300 Google Play card and we'll send you money.
Let me just make a quick burner email and encourage her.
Okay, cool. Yes, not
Give it all. They want it and need it.
not scam at scamless.co.
Yes. So yeah, hit us up on @TheLostAtHome on Twitter. We have a Facebook page. It's the Lost at Home Podcast Facebook page and fan group. I would suggest joining the fan group. It has less people than the actual page, which isn't a bad thing because the page kind of announces shows. This is more of an intimate group of individuals who all appreciate and love the show and like talking about it.
Posting some good stories
We definitely
and
post
whatnot.
some weird shit. Some of the stuff doesn't make it on the show, and it's kind of fun to watch. Also, I guess since we're doing plugs, patreon.com/lostathome. Hit us up there, $3 a month. You get a ton of new content. We dropped on Friday or Saturday 5 new episodes of content on Patreon.
We did.
If you want to hear some new weird stuff, go there because, my God, some of it is honestly too weird to be in the mainstream show. We throw that stuff
which
there.
is what I mean, I appreciate that. I would hope people who support us on Patreon, although that's what they're looking for, a little bit extra, a little, not just more of the same. When your favorite podcast's over and another's a week away, just go ahead and sign up to patreon.com/lostathome.
That was almost your song you did originally.
Yeah, I know, I did it on purpose, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
When your favorite podcast's over. So yeah, also there's a great song on there.
When your favorite holiday movie isn't Halloween related, you're gonna have to find another horror movie for you. And when it's Thanksgiving and almost Christmas, you go want to find a horror movie. This is right for you because you need to watch a horror movie.
I feel like there was like some child having a stroke just talking to me, and I was like, what am I supposed to do here?
I hope you didn't mind me plugging my phone into the board and playing my perfectly polished intro to our next segment.
Oh, these are our holiday horror picks, you mean, where we're going to come to you every week until the Christmas holiday is completed with our picks, because we love horror and Halloween's never over in our mind. One of the beauties of the Christmas season is that we can actually bleed some Halloween stuff in. You can still use some decorations, repurpose them for Christmas purposes. And you can also, there's actually a lot of really fun Christmas and other holiday movies out there, mostly Christmas, but some other like Christmas holiday movies out there that are actually pretty decent, or at the very least, all of them are pretty damn fun. Even the bad ones are pretty fun. So we figured we're going to bring one, Scott and I will bring one movie each to you until the Christmas holiday season, the holiday season in general, is over. And the last episode drops in December. So
exactly. Now, Jerry, you brought the first one to the table.
Yes. And this one is every once in a while I'll probably have some good, some bad. I think I have them picked out for the next couple of weeks.
Don't sell yourself short. They're all going to be bad.
Yes. Actually, the first 3 I've got picked out were, well, one was just fun, but there's 2 that are genuinely good movies, and this is actually one of them, called Black Christmas from 1974, not to be mixed up with the 2006 remake, which I haven't seen, so I'm not going to spit on it. But I will say,
I saw it, and it was very not memorable compared to the first.
Yes, because the first one, a lot of people, if they, you hear the plot of the movie of like, people, the sorority sisters, spending, are getting prepared to go home for Christmas in a sorority, are stalked by an evil bad guy who's using the phone to call up and leave creepy messages, and then they get, picked off one by one. Doesn't exactly sound like the most original idea, but in 1974, that predated The Town That Dreaded Sundown by 2 years and Halloween by 4, making it what a lot of people define as the first genuine slasher movie. That's saying, some of these other movies out there like Psycho and stuff aren't in the slasher tropes. Yeah, they have people who kill people. This is like a madman blindly picking off a group of people, and especially some of these tropes of, college girls and the phone. It also this movie was actually a genuinely good slasher flick. Also had some pretty some pretty interesting imagery. The POV stuff of the killer was very interesting, and also the phone voice the guy uses is possibly one of the creepiest I've ever heard. It's absolutely memorable in a very bad way because it's just like schizophrenic, crazy, creepy stuff going on there. It's also the first recorded use of the killer, the call is coming from inside the house trope that has gotten used multiple times since. It was, now granted that one came from urban legends and stuff of babysitters, but it was the first time recorded, at least as far as people are concerned, that was recorded on film of that kind of trope being used in the movie, which of course once again seems so overused nowadays, but in 1974 that was fresh and so clean. I watched it on Shudder, so all you Shudderites, you're probably already aware of this movie because it's definitely one that's well known in the horror community, but maybe not so much in the Christmas community or the mainstream community because it's an oldie but a goodie and gets overshadowed by Silent Night, Deadly Night, and all those kind of things. It's also on Showtime apparently right now, so if you have that, you can watch it. Fun fact. Less than a decade later, the director Bob Clark went on to make the classic A Christmas Story. Far and away different than this one, but it was about 9 years later that movie came out.
No shit. I did not know that.
So, and he also made Porky's, but like A Christmas Story being so far from Black Christmas, and the fact the same guy made them and they're memorable
and
in their genre.
Honestly, all three
Porky's especially
bounces around a bit between genres and styles and ratings.
He's a clever guy. So,
all right. Now, my pick is a much more modern movie, but also found on Shudder, just to give you a heads up right off the bat.
Yeah, and I believe this was a Shudder exclusive and might still be, where as far as streaming services go, this is where you're going to find it.
But if you need to find it somewhere else and you're still not willing to pay for Shudder, just fucking pay for Shudder.
Yeah, that's yes.
Better Watch Out is easily one of my favorite Christmas horror movies of all time, and I'm just going to read the little blurb here that I ripped right off of Wikipedia. When you think of the suburbs, you think safety. But this holiday night, the suburbs are anything but safe. Ashley thought this babysitting job was going to be an easy night, but the night turns when dangerous intruders break in and terrorize her and the 12-year-old boy, Luke, she's caring for. Ashley defends her charge to the best of her abilities, only discover this is no normal home invasion.
Yes.
And I love that description because this movie is twist after twist.
And this
only describes maybe the first 20 minutes.
This is pretty much the setup, and then there's a twist that kind of takes you down a completely different path. And also, there is some of the setup. I think this was the one that people were likening to sort of like some Home Alone-esque elements in terms of some of the setups of how you capture these intruders and things like that. But obviously a little more brutal. It was. I remember watching it last year around the Christmas holiday season when it popped up for the first time after you had seen it and given it a high recommendation. And I also highly recommend that movie as well. It's a great, especially the modern, for a modern one.
It's well acted, well paced. The twist is original. The acting's good for the children, which I actually appreciated.
Yep.
And it's almost a rewatch worthy movie. Like
I was thinking I'll probably pop that on because I've got a long list of Christmas horror movies to watch this month just because it keeps me not hating Christmas, which is nice, so I don't completely become bah humbug. And so that's on. I mean, I've got a bunch of other random shitty ones too.
If she ever watched it, I don't know if she watched it with me. I think I watched it completely
it's worth
alone.
It's worth a rewatch. It could turn into one of those like annual watches because it's fun. That's the thing, but it's dark too. Like it's got some good creepy, like not even so much creepy, but just like twisted dark elements. We're like, oh shit, things are going a little different here.
Yeah, it's not for the easy to. I don't know. It's gory.
Yeah, I would say most of the movies we're going to cover are probably. I mean, they're horror. These are
both pretty bloody movies.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, Black Christmas gets away with some of the the old like low budget, don't have to show everything kind of thing, but some of the stuff they show is not for the faint of heart. In the slasher, if you watch any slasher, this will probably seem tame by comparison, but yeah. So Black Christmas from 1974, Better Watch Out from 2016, both streaming on Shudder. So you should sign up for one of those free trials things. Also, because I think you generally just get it when you sign up anyway. You get a free trial, so you might as well take it for a spin. Can't hurt. You can find some codes that let you get
$5 a month too.
Yeah, well, if you sign up for a whole year, you can get it. Sometimes, especially with some discount codes, you can get it for about $3 up to $4 a month if you pay for a whole year at a time.
Yep.
And it's totally worth it for anybody into horror. If you're not, you can still sign up for a free trial. Watch these movies.
You hear that ad we just did for you? We're doing it for free. We want money.
This is something.
Shudder!
This is something that I've heard last podcast on the left say as well, because they constantly scream out Shudder.
Yeah, Shudder?
And
You
that
hear that?
Shudder just doesn't do that. So
Shudder, you hear that?
I'm afraid that we
I
might
don't
be
even want a
shit out
free
of luck.
month.
No.
You know what I would like?
I just
would
want you
like
to-
a
I just-
hookup to a partner of theirs, so maybe we could get to talking to a director or an actor without having to do the legwork.
Yeah, where they could reach out and be like, hey, we got these Shudder exclusive
I would
directors.
do full advertising for them for a PR handshake.
Yep. That'd be nice. So listen to that, Shudder. We love you.
Hear that, Shudder? You fucking hear that?
You fucking assholes!
I'll fucking kill you!
I wish you didn't own me. You own me.
Now,
I'll do anything you say. I'll suck your fucking dick, Shudder. I'll suck your fucking dick. I'll suck all your dicks and pussies and whatever you want. Just let me touch you. You don't even need to let me touch you. Just let me continue watching your movies and paying you. I'll pay double. I'm really ending up in the shit side of this argument. I'm not good at the...
so we get no deal. You scared the shit out of him, and now you pay $10 a month.
And no, I pay $10 a month just for them to allow me to continue the service.
Just to allow you. Yeah, they have a switch that says Jer.
Because I creeped out the people who run a horror website.
Yes.
Good. We're staying with the holiday spirit for a little while before we jump into web droppings, and we're bringing back an old segment called Awesome or Asinine Apps, otherwise known as AAA, and this is a holiday AAA. Scott, you brought this one to the table.
Yeah, this is, a woman took to Facebook to warn fellow parents about a creepy Call Santa app. She, I don't want to give away the lead here. We'll start with the story itself. Kirsty Elizabeth Taylor was left absolutely fuming after hearing the disturbing message on the Santa Call app. This was a new app that came out in 2018, and as a disclaimer before we go forward with the story, because many of you might just jump to your phones, it was in the Google Play Store, and it has been taken down. I did look for updates.
Yeah.
She downloaded it for a 3-year-old son on his Kindle Fire to hear... little messages from Santa Claus.
Well, yeah, apparently it's just like what it sounds like. You dial it up. And I'm sure there's some other ones that actually do it.
Little boy.
It's
you
right.
get all the presents.
Yes, nobody gets presents but you, Fiddly. Yes, now come over here and suck Santa's dick. Yeah, wait, this one's worse. Yes, sit on Santa's lap digitally, and by that I mean send me pictures of your bum and I'll put him on my lap. No, we can't have pants between Santa and his little friends now, can we? No, send me pictures and directly through, and some Bitcoin while you're at it.
Now the mother, when she pressed the call button, which is basically supposed to bring up one of several audio files that are played out loud. It's not calling anyone.
It's not, it's just a pre-programmed app with wave files buried in there.
Yeah, the phone said,
Hello there. Can you hear me?
Sorry, let me start over. I need to read all my sentences before commas become periods.
Hello there. Can you hear me, children? In 5 nights, if you're free, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Yes, and if that sounds familiar, that is kind of not verbatim, but it is taken from from Taken. It's essentially the same kind of concept as what Liam Neeson says to the people who have taken his family.
I remember Taken, like I watched it yesterday. Liam Neeson's daughter's gone. He gets on the phone. He's like,
I have a special set of skills.
Wait, are we supposed to be afraid of you talking like this?
I know where you are. I know what you're thinking. I know if you've been naughty or nice.
Well, we've been naughty. We took your children. I mean, yes, of course we've been naughty.
I have a very special set of skills.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm going to find you, and I'm going to kill you.
Okay, well, I do not take you seriously at all, so I feel that we're just fine with your children here and wife and whatnot.
They're not my children. They're actually elves. They look like kids, but they're 45 and 47 respectively.
Okay, cool. We're going to keep them anyway, though.
You can molest them all you want, and it's not a child crime.
Just a
Trust
standard.
me,
Just a standard.
I know.
Oh boy, who's been naughty here? I think we may have actually accidentally saved these people. I think we saved them from a human trafficking organization. Hey,
They
Bobby,
make the gifts.
I think we're good guys now.
They make the gifts, and I fuck them. And it's only rape if they tell anyone.
No, that's not how it works at all.
They know how to stay off my naughty list.
Wow, I'm just a
they
kidnapper.
They keep their mouths shut with sugar plums.
Okay, well, I feel way less of a bad guy now.
I make ball gags out of sugar plums.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was wondering how they kept their mouth. I'm glad you explained that to me. I would have been lost on that. Is it good to hang up here, or can I just assume we're good?
I'll keep them. I have like 1,000,000 more.
Okay, cool. I feel like we're actually doing the world a good thing, so I think we're good guys
It's
now.
hard for me to tell who I've raped and who I haven't.
Oh, boy.
They all look the same and
Well-
are so busy with their tiny little 47-year-old hands.
So just to be clear, you are definitely now Santa Claus and not Liam Neeson. Or Liam Neeson as
End scene.
Liam Neeson as Santa Claus playing. Oh yes,
Taken for this Christmas. He's had enough taken.
It's time to give and take.
Hey, Dad, what are you doing on the roof?
I'm putting lights on the roof.
Dad, look out, there's a sleigh.
I'll stop that sleigh.
Pop, 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 pop.
Wow, Dad, when did you get such a weak gun?
It has a silencer, honey. I don't want to wake the neighbors.
Oh, look, I killed Santa.
Oh, no, what's happening? I'm Santa now. I guess like in that Tim Allen movie, if you accidentally kill Santa, you become him.
And now Liam Neeson has to spend the rest of Christmas night going around the world delivering presents to children. Only every child he tries to find has been taken. So he has to then go find them. And then give them their presents.
Hey, little Billy. I see you're chained up in this pedophile's basement. Here's a choo-choo train.
No choo-choo train.
Don't worry. It's the good kind of train. Just wait till one and you'll see the other kind. Happy Christmas.
That's Liam Neeson's catchphrase, by the way. He says Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Well, he has to put his own stamp on the franchise.
Yep.
It's been 3 Tim Allen Santa Clauses.
Yeah. And a couple of Takens at least. So this is a good.
Yeah, so this is a
crossover.
No, there's been 3 and 3.
Yeah, so this is the crossover. So it's Santa Claus 4 and
The Taken
4.
Claus.
Yeah.
Perfect new content.
Boom.
Bam! We got that one in the dirt. Let me piss on it, kick it, and
Yeah.
bury it again. Wait, I'm gonna dig it up. I'm gonna fuck it in its mouth. I'm gonna bury it again, piss on it again. I'm gonna call Liam Neeson and ask what to do if someone takes it. If I come back and that hole's been dug up, I'm gonna be pissed.
Hey, Liam, I
Not the
forgot
kind
what to
of-
do. Okay, get angry on the phone, threaten, and then go find it. Okay, cool.
Don't
thanks.
forget to
Click.
deliver the gifts.
Liam Neeson's
Every
taking.
bullet in this gun is a gift to me and to you.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
we need the Taken Claus worse than anything. I need the Taken Claus worse than air.
How about
That's it. Just-
How about I like this? Yeah, they say no, it's no, never mind. Because I was gonna say they say that that Christmas is about giving and taking, but that's not what they say at all. I was gonna say I give you 6 bullets and I take your life.
If you believe in the Germanic version, if you listen back last year to our Christmas episodes, Krampus takes, Santa gives.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is the one where Danny DeVito comes in.
Okay.
He's his business partner or something. He knows him.
Yeah.
Let's dumb it down. He has met Liam Neeson's character at least once. When he meets him and he's like, "Look, I'm Santa now." He's like, "Oh my god!" Like does some arm twirling. He's short.
Wow, you just totally Darren Ewing to that.
Krampus in the back of the scene is just literally sucking his own dick by the window. He's a demon. He can do that.
Hey, fuck it.
And Danny DeVito.
What's the point of being a demon if you can't suck your own demon dick?
Right.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito arm windmills backwards, pushes him out the window, becomes Krampus. Suddenly we have a
Danny
partnership.
DeVito. Oh, okay.
It's like in Lethal Weapon 3 where they added Joe Pesci.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, you got DeVito as the Krampus, Liam Neeson as Santa Claus. We're following the same plot as the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
But also the same plot as Taken.
Yeah, well, because every time then you find a kid that they've been taken, and so it's like you have to save Christmas by being Santa Claus, but also
and
everybody's
then you got
taken.
Danny DeVito where he's like, where Liam Neeson's
Because
like,
now every kid is his.
We saved you from that evil man. Merry Christmas.
and DeVito's like, I'm just gonna fuck him.
Yeah.
He's got little goat legs and horns. I'm gonna fuck him. And it's like, I thought you saved me. I thought you were.
Well, you give with one hand and you rape with the other.
Oh, Krampus. He's crazy. He can suck his own dick, you know. I've seen it for very long periods of time at a time. It's
then it cuts
actually quite hypnotic.
It cuts to like Liam Neeson's leaving, putting the bag over his shoulder, very cinematic upward camera angle. He steps over the camera into the snow. Snow flies into the house. Hard cut to Danny DeVito ass fucking this boy, and he just stops and he goes, "So you guys put cookies out, right? But do you have any like cheese? Maybe a prosciutto? Do you have like an Evian I could have?
Something like a little classy."
And then it just cuts. No, it star wipes. It star wipes from Danny DeVito as a goat man raping a boy.
Yep. No longer rated PG.
Prosciutto. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, prosciutto. Prosecco is also a thing.
I had both in my head, and my brain mashed them on.
Just like taking in Santa Claus. It would make sense if it was prosciutto. Yeah.
Prosciutto.
Yeah. It's like Goldschlager.
My bubbly water tastes like salty meat.
Yeah. That's because you got
the magic of prosciutto.
All right. So we got the holiday AAA down pat.
Now we move into. Do we drop Turkey Web droppings for past Thanksgiving?
Well, yeah. I just assumed it was a copy paste error. We're just
reindeer droppings.
Okay, reindeer droppings. Jingle, 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 jingle.
What's that sound up on the roof? It sounds like a bunch of hoof.
Good enough. That's reindeer droppings. It's time for reindeer droppings. Bloop, bloop. All right, reindeer droppings intro right there. We're getting into the object sexuality spectrum here.
Yeah, I have a lot of opinions on this.
Yeah.
It's a fun story, so we're going to talk about it, but I also like to put a disclaimer here that I don't pick on mental illness. When someone says they're a thing, sure, you can be that thing, but this story has clear signs of mental illness.
Well, there are in some of these object sexuality stories, and then some sound like people are pretty much on the straight and narrow, know exactly what they're
and
talking
are just
about.
Trolling.
Yeah, because they're not even trolling so much as just that like there is something psychological out there, and what we're talking about are people who are attracted to objects versus other biological creatures, whether it's other humans or
you mean
bestiality.
Outside of a dildo or a fleshlight.
Well, even then, like somebody who doesn't necessarily have a genuine attraction to it, they're like, this thing fucks me and it makes me feel good. That's different than actually being like, I look at it and I get like feelings inside. Okay. So if people have those, that's one thing. And it's like that is psychological, but I wouldn't necessarily put it as psychological illness. There are some people who actually think that these things are like speaking to them, and these objects are speaking to them, and that they actually break up and have fights and all this kind of stuff. That's a little more on the mental illness spectrum. There's one thing about a fetish, and I would say it would be probably better if somebody has a fetish toward an inanimate object than say like dogs. And
to me, it's okay to fetishize an object if you're incorporating it into your sexual routine.
Yeah. These people
are like, man, I fucking love chairs. They turn me on because you know what I love doing? I love fucking a girl in a chair. It's the hottest thing ever.
Or yeah. I mean, if it's
you can fetishize an object, but within the spectrum of doing sex. That's how I refer to it.
Get your sex advice from people who say stuff like doing sex.
I have a very happy wife at home. I promise. Yes. I promise.
I'm going to go home and have bang.
She also knows my sense of humor, so I can totally say that and still get laid.
That's good.
You want to go upstairs and do sex?
Yeah, that's right.
I'll do it on you.
That's right.
Maybe tonight we can reverse pan for sex. I think that means she's on top.
Sure.
Or no, I just lay on her upside down.
Yeah.
I'm like,
she's just taking a nap on a person. Yeah.
I lay on her the same way, looking at the ceiling, and then just masturbate.
Yeah. So you're just using her as a mattress at that point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Object sexuality. That's turning a person into an object. But that is
objectification.
I don't know what you said. Those I heard.
Well, we're talking.
You try saying things sometimes, and I just do like the Peanuts moment where I hear.
Yeah. Anything Anything you don't
And
want to
people
hear.
keep talking about this thing that was going on through 2017, 2018 that was dealing with women's issues with male Hollywood types attacking them. All I hear is hashtag. Wah, 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 wah. I don't know. What is
good.
it?
Yep.
What is that hashtag?
Yep.
I'm making a horrible joke. I'm not that person. I'm not a monster.
He's you're already married, so you don't have to,
Yeah, I can get away with everything now.
you're just like, I don't care if other women hate me.
Oh,
My
what,
wife
you're not
will
gonna
love me.
date me because I said that? Guess what? I already tricked someone else.
Yeah. I got a lucky object at home I can go to.
All right, well, this story is...
he's not a monster, I swear.
This story comes out of Britain, specifically Leeds. This is a story about Amanda Liberty, 34 years old, who, and this is the reason why this story came to light recently, was that she recently had a tattoo designed by star of tattoo fixers Alice Perrin on the hit television show of a chandelier.
Yep.
She specifically did it because this is the chandelier that she is engaged to.
It's a nice little silhouette of a chandelier. It's pretty.
It's really not a bad tattoo. I don't know if I love the placement.
No, but I mean that's up to the tattoo itself is it's not detail work. It's just good it's silhouette work. It's fine.
And really quick, 1.5 hours to complete. That's pretty good for.
Yeah, it looks like it's all fill. It's all just dark fill. It's no color. It's all good.
So she bought a chandelier a few years ago. She bought it through an auction site, I believe, and had a hard time getting it to her house. The end result is she now lives with it and named it Lumiere, which is after the candlestick character from Beauty and the Beast.
The Disney Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, this is not the first time, by the way, before we get further into the story, that she has fallen in love with an inanimate object.
Yes.
When she was 14, she fell in love with a drum kit.
Yeah, which hey, I can get down with that. I'm a drummer. I love those drum kits. I've got 2 drum kits in my hallway right now. Gonna go do a threesome later. Yeah,
nice. I was waiting for it. I was literally waiting for it.
Yeah, the neighbors playing drums all night. I don't know, and there's no real good rhythm to it. It just is moaning and banging. Yeah,
now,
that's it.
The thing is, I can't wrap my head around having a sexual infatuation with an object. But listening to the way she talks,
well, this
and there's
not even a
her.
purely sexual infatuation. This is like genuinely when you see somebody and your breath gets taken away and you're like, oh my god, I have feelings for that person, even if it's just a crush. There's those kind of feelings. It's not just, oh, I'm horny now. This is genuine. I want to spend my time with it. And people do petition or potentially actually in a way get married to these objects as well, and they get in monogamous relationships with these objects as well.
Not to be too judgy, but for a 34-year-old woman, she looks like a grandma. She looks like an 80-year-old grandma.
That is true.
It's kind of weird, but okay. So there's a bunch of quotes here. So she bought it in Germany over eBay, and she said, "I couldn't stop thinking about her and how beautiful she was. She was such a beautiful shape, and I could feel really amazing energy coming from her. After buying the chandelier, I patiently waited for her to be imported into the UK. After 6 days of waiting, she was finally in my arms. She had been disassembled for her own safety. But once I put all the pieces together, she settled into her new home."
Yep, just like a real
relationship
person.
went from strength to strength.
Yep.
For someone as creative as someone to talk to the news about her love of a chandelier,
Well, didn't think that one through.
how about you fall in love with a thesaurus?
Yeah. But and I am in that we're always in that mentality of do whatever you want as long as it's not hurting anybody else. But but I also would say that if there are people around her that are concerned because if she has any genuine mental illness, but maybe she's completely right in every other way, and this is just genuinely one of the things you can't necessarily help what you feel when you look at somebody. If she's right in every other way, then
she has the kind of mental illness that existed in the 1700s, where the very, very wealthy could be batshit crazy but still live a very perfectly long, normal life. She owns 25 chandeliers. No one owns 25 chandeliers unless you have some money or some level of
the other chandeliers? I wonder if this was the first attraction to a chandelier she's had.
Well, she says within the story that she sleeps with a candelabra, I believe.
Okay.
That she likes to sleep with because it fits nicely in her arms, but she doesn't think the other chandeliers are jealous, and that she considers herself in an open relationship with all of them.
Okay. Well, I want to say that there's also, this isn't this is something that has been out there in other instances, just in the news, let alone there's other people that have done it. in everyday life in society. There's a few other examples in case people are like, this all sounds familiar. 2007 was in the news. An American competitive
2007
archer
was in the news.
Yes, American competitive archer Erica Eiffel, at the time Labrie, but she married the Eiffel Tower and took the Eiffel part of the Eiffel Tower as her last name. They're now broken up, but in 2007 they were married. They broke up because apparently the media, when they caught on to it, there was some issues with her being essentially not allowed near the Eiffel Tower, and she felt torn apart by it and heartbroken, genuinely, and just considered it was best to withdraw. March 2012.
You know what they would have played if they had gotten married?
Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world, and all day...
Yep.
She would have played Eiffel 65
Yep.
at their wedding. You fucking know she would have. Stop rolling your eyes at me.
No, I won't.
Put your pants back on.
I won't. I will do neither of those things.
Do one of those things.
I can't. They're kind of attached together.
No, your shirt's
it's
off
like
now,
blinking
too.
when you sneeze. I
Your
can't
shirt's
help
off
it.
too now.
Well, yeah.
Where did you get
that I
those
can help.
clothespins?
I just keep them on me, literally on me.
Like,
at all
literally, you
times.
took your shirt off and you were covered in
They're
clothespins.
there. Yes, I keep
like,
them on.
Not
me.
your nipples. Those
I
are
have
the only.
I have a sexual attraction toward clothespins.
But they're not on your nipples. They're everywhere but.
Nope, they can't touch my nipples. We're not in that part of a relationship.
Why do
yet.
you have so much skin?
Well, I try to actually keep the skin pinned back with these clothespins, and I'm glad you actually mentioned I have a very special and terrible disease. So thanks for bringing it to light on the podcast.
So, moving on to Anderson Cooper.
Well, this is Anderson Cooper himself, but there's somebody was featured on TLC's My Strange Addiction, Nathaniel, and he was emotionally and sexually attracted to his car. And Nathaniel also told Anderson Cooper that he was also attracted to jet skis and airplanes, so he was more into the engine, vehicles, etc.
You mean things that vibrate?
2013, an Australian woman, Jodie Rose, married the Le Pont du Diable Bridge in France.
Nice, well played.
Yep. That's definitely a bachelor. Like that was
Le Pont du Diable.
Le Pont du Diable Bridge. And 2016.
Why'd you say bridge in a French accent?
Bridge. Well, because the rest were.
Bridge.
I don't want to be one of those people that pronounces everything properly, and then everything else they say.
Like California newscasters where they suddenly say something in Spanish.
Bridge.
Yeah.
I like bridge. And then that definitely wasn't even French. I don't know that guy.
Bridge.
And then 2016, we actually covered this. I believe, at least it was in our show notes at the time. A man was refused permission to marry his computer. I think that was one where it was because he was trying to make a statement about how it was actually kind of an ignorant statement about it's okay for these people to get married, man and man to get married, why a woman get married, but I can't marry my computer, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. We covered it on the show, but anyway, he was refused permission, but he supposedly was an object sexual.
So I'm thinking the content we spin this into is a spin-off of Pawn Stars.
Yep.
Pawn Stars Bachelor.
Yeah, I was actually...
Or Bachelorette, or both.
Yeah, I was thinking someone that... What was that? I had,
you get a store full of objects and you get someone who comes in so I got this vase.
Right.
And then they're like, well, the value of it's not as high as we would like to normally give you money for and purchase. Maybe we can't turn it around. But there is this lovely woman over in the wings here. She saw the vase when you walked in. They have a connection.
Yes.
Do we want to send them on a date and pay for it and see if it works out?
And then it's
almost like Love Connection too.
It's
Pawn Connection.
and then pornography when you actually watch them fucking.
Oh, did you get that video I sent the other day of pornography?
Oh, I haven't watched it, but I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel called Prawnography.
Yes.
Like prawn is in like little fishy.
Yeah,
creature.
essentially shrimp.
It was made back in the
Sort of.
90s. It is amazing. I think it was made for a Spanish class to learn Spanish because it's in Spanish and they speak slow enough for you to learn it. And it's two prawns on sticks fucking.
I gotta watch it
with a full story.
I sort of I figured what it was based on the screen cap and the title, but I forgot to actually watch it.
It's got a prawn vacuuming, and then a salesman comes to the door, and he's like, makes her go down on him, and then she picks her head up, and she's like, I don't want to do that, but in Spanish, and he's like, don't worry, I don't have any STDs except crabs.
Which are much larger than prawns. Yeah. Well, sometimes I think prawns can be big.
Literally, if a prawn had crabs, it would just be like this monster.
Yeah.
Like with its claws on its little teeny shoulders. Like,
Yeah.
so do you have any STDs? No.
I think
Who's
there
that
are.
behind you? No one.
I think there are large prawns, but I don't know how large they are. I was also thinking about this as just being just the genuine TMZ style thing, because some of these people are like suddenly like Erica Eiffel seen leaving the club with a jet ski. Is this over for Eiffel and the tower, or is this just an open relationship?
Vicky LeClaire went into a thrift store today and came out with a very succulent lamp. Did she plan on buying that? Did she tell her ottoman at home about it?
Yeah. These are
I mean, inanimate objects you can cheat on easily because you just put them in different rooms.
Yep.
I have a 5-bedroom apartment. I'm cheating on 5 different pieces of furniture with 5 different pieces of furniture. They're in different rooms. They can't tell.
And they literally have no organs to hear or see anything.
They can't tell.
Yep.
One night I decided to be horrible. I'm probably going to hell for this one, but I took the waffle iron from the kitchen that I was engaged to, and I put it right on top of the Lazy Susan. I just spun them. I spun them so hard while I touched myself. And you know what happened in the end? Well, they both broke up with me. So
yep.
I'm on Facebook. What is it called? Facebook
Marketplace?
I'm on Facebook Marketplace looking for 2 new girls, 2 new boyfriends.
Yeah, I was just in general like, so needed 1 waffle iron, 1 Lazy Susan.
Open to threesomes. I want to do that tonight.
Open object relationships.
No, I want to post an item in my I have a donation box that I'm gonna put on a curb in the spring.
Yeah.
Like just stuff I don't want. I'm gonna pull one item from it, take a picture of it, put it on Facebook Marketplace, and be like, this empty photo album is looking for a lot of photos and a lot of memories to fill it with love. It's also looking for an open relationship.
Yeah. Broke up with me because I wasn't monogamous enough, or it was too monogamous.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, I broke the same lamp I was cheating on it with, so now I'm totally single. But you know what? That's my problem, not yours.
Now you can have this beautiful, beautiful open relationship and open book of a photo album. Just fill it. As long as you fill it. It just wants to be filled.
The way it likes to have sex is you touch yourself, take photos, put the pictures in the album.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
And then the album's like, oh, yeah, give me more. Fill me. Put it inside me.
Yeah. Bigger pictures. I need 8x10s, damn it. You keep coming at me with these 5x8s. 4x6s.
Glossies. More glossies.
More glossies. Oh, yeah. That's right. All right. So that's good for...
That's where you go to what doesn't exist anymore, the photomat, where you bring your film and have them hand back photos. And they'd hand you back and they look at your photos. They have to make them.
They see them.
They hand you back like basically a 2-inch thick wad of photos of just like chairs, lamps, desks. And you're like, I'm super embarrassed. I hope those overtly sexual photos didn't... get me banned from this establishment.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? I thought you were like yard selling or something. Like photography.
That's a completely unupholstered couch there. No upholstery whatsoever. I can't believe I took that picture and brought it to you.
Yeah, that chair for the kids' table. It wasn't mine.
Yeah, completely stripped of all varnish. God damn it. All right.
Well, I don't think we ran out of time for more stories. That's fine with me because we do have a little bit more Bruce and his little dipshit friend who apparently keeps ruining every attempt they have to escape.
Yes,
thank you
right.
for everyone who has been managing to tune in for the last segment of the show, the ongoing skit. We know some of you in Radioland have not been able to hear every part. There's 2 ways to hear that. Make sure to go onto your favorite podcast app and download the show or subscribe to the show.
Yeah, subscribe to the show. Get the whole thing, even if we run a little over an hour, which we have occasionally in the past.
Or wait until January 1st, where we'll be putting up the entire collection as one long story, and we might even add a few little joining bits to make sure it all is cohesive.
Yeah, and I will say this, just a little peek behind the curtain. We did this, and we do this on purpose. Instead of writing this as one long bit, we write this week to week. So it's actually going to be surprising for us to hear how disjointed it is, or maybe it works really well. So
and
I'm actually
cool
I'm
recording
excited.
Little bits to maybe to joint it.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, in fact, I almost would prefer to make sure to do that so the folks who have been listening all along get something a little bit new with the
one ends with like,
one.
there's a werewolf. Then someone begins like, I can't move. I've been in this chair for 9 hours. I'm bored.
Yeah, called Easter eggs.
What happened to the werewolf?
Oh, let's put Easter eggs in it, but literally it's just every once in a while they find an Easter egg down there.
We should also do a creative way of joining them where it's just not us doing more content of the skit with the characters. Maybe there's an overseer watching them, and it's like a character in a booth who's like, look at them. Look at what they're doing.
Yeah,
and he like joins them.
And I believe the plan is to
Maybe
go
two.
through
That
the
way
end
we
of the
can split
year.
the work.
Yeah, I think the plan is to go through the end of the year, so we're probably 4 or 5 episodes, probably 5 episodes away from it pretty much being
And actually,
complete. So
this won't air until probably a week after the first. To be fair,
yeah.
So we'll need to do the punch ups. But I'm thinking like Cabin in the Woods, how they had those people running the show
Yeah, of
behind
course,
the scenes.
yeah.
You and I will be those dudes.
So there's somebody in the bunker who's actually like looking down on the whole thing with multiple cameras.
And they won't pop in all the time, but when necessary.
They might actually like comment on things that are happening in between the segments so that we don't see. They could actually
that might be fun.
They could actually overwrite like, why is that guy running over there? So you could actually like kind of blend the pieces together a little bit.
During the shitty coldest part of winter, you and I will get together and we'll punch all that up.
That sounds good. Yeah, so that's the plan.
We'll also need a theme song for it.
And in the meantime, that'll be a fun one anyway. So in the meantime, people should at least still continue listening. And if you haven't heard them all, go back and start listening to them. We always put them at the end of our shows for the last 6, 8 episodes, whatever it's been. Probably 6 or so, maybe. I can't remember. Anyway,
we started
we've done a bunch.
October 1st, so we're 8 in.
We've done a bunch. They generally run, 2 minutes at most each. So we're hoping to see where this brings us. We don't even know. So enjoy this episode, the beginning of the end, I think, hopefully. Well, probably about halfway through, I'd say.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to throw it out there because we got a 5-star review a little while ago that we read on air. We haven't gotten one in a while. We got a slew of them at one point. If you want to leave a 5-star review for us on iTunes specifically,
yes,
whatever you write, we will read on air. So get creative, have fun. Fuck, if you left an old one and you just want to redo it to be funnier, go ahead and do it.
If you do happen to be like, I don't use fucking iTunes, I use, Stitcher or something like that. If you do that on Stitcher or anything like that, you'll just have to let us know directly. But the best way to do that would be just go over to iTunes and leave the review, even if you leave it. You can even say, I only listen to Stitcher.
Leave a review on iTunes saying, I just left a review on Google+.
Yeah. Just be like, I only listen to Stitcher because it's better, and but this is what I said. Anyway, we'll find it if you tell us, but otherwise we're just checking the iTunes spot, and we will read them on air. We'll have fun with them. You can also say anything, and we will read it. Granted, there's only so much bad you can say because shit gets censored on iTunes reviews. But
I'll fucking say it.
But you'll be able
I'll say it all.
You can just say terrible things about us, and we will read it and have a great time. So we appreciate that, and we are going to move on in to see what Mr. Jason Jr. and Bruce have been up to with Lost Down Under in America. And until next time, get lost.
Get lost.
Little buddy, hello? I left poor Jason Jr. here to fend for himself against that werewolf. Now I can't find him. The soda machine he was holding to his body's been ripped to shreds, but there's no sign of Jason. No blood either, though, so hopefully that means he's okay. He's probably just hiding somewhere. Jason? Jason Jr.?
I'm here.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought you'd be dead. How on earth did you... Careful, Jason! That werewolf's right beside you!
Oh, I know. This is Sheila. You see, when you cowardly fled and left me to die...
Heroically raced away to allow you to defend yourself, yes?
Well, Sheila here came along and she lifted the soda machine off me like it was nothing at all. She's so strong that our gaze met. I fell into the brown pools of her eyes while she fell into the off tapioca color of my milky white stare. I never felt love at first sight like this before until I saw Sheila here. We slid into a puddle of 40-year-old root beer and cola, and we rolled around until we were sticky and we stunk of fuck. How glorious it was to feel like a man. And that's when I realized I don't need you, Bruce. I'm my own man. I can take care of myself. Sheila has injected me with a new vigor of life, and also something called wolf plasm, which she excreted from her teats. But the point is, I'm in love, and you can find your own damn way out of... Sheila?
There we are now, no more of that nonsense. Let the record show that I heroically saved my good buddy in a time of need, and am indeed still the hero in all of this. What do you say, little buddy? Let's keep working on getting out of here, huh? And we'll find you some proper human vagina. Maybe even someone that won't inject you with protoplasm or whatever.
Sheila?